Hey guys, how's it going? Um, for tonight's lecture, I'm going to start throwing a building together. Um, Showing you guys some of the different hatching that I talked about, different styles. I'm going to do quarter scale, just a rough layout, nothing too fancy. I actually think I'm going to start in pencil, just because I'll probably change some stuff. Okay, so I zoomed the camera in a little bit. Hopefully that actually helps you guys. I guess let me know if it's still a little hard to see, read, all that good stuff. I also changed some settings in the camera, so hopefully there's a little less flicker. Actually, sorry, I'm just trying to get it to align a little better. Which I don't think is going to look great, but okay. Well, we're gonna roll with that. So, let me get a. I'm just gonna start drawing some lines in here. I'm just going to start drawing room by room, just doing kind of simple dimensions just to kind of throw a base down. Show you kind of how I typically quickly lay out a building. We'll add a door here on this one. So what I'm going to do, we'll go center 0, we'll do, actually we'll do 1. We'll do 6. Okay, so that's our door opening. I know some of you have your template. So this one is at 1/4 inch right here. 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. So the nice thing about this is I can throw whatever door size. So I just drew that as a 3 foot. Let me finish throwing this wall on here. Sorry. So I'm going to just draw the walls 6 inches thick. So just an 1/8 inch. There. Kind of run through. Do a nice little jam there. So once again, this is like kind of what I was talking about with the layers. You know, it's a lot easier to go through, lay this out in pencil. Make sure you're all kind of lined up and your square footages work out well. You can easily go back in afterwards and just basically just line up your straight edge with your pen and just go, or with your bar, and take your pen and roll over it. Makes it a lot easier than trying to go back through and do this in pen and not mess up. Alright, so I'm going to throw a door in there. So these are kind of nice because you can basically just kind of trace that whole thing. Gives you a nice door with your swing and all that good stuff. So, quick and easy door. Alternates, if you don't have one of these, I'll do another room here real quick. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. I'll line it up with here. So these are inside dimensions that I'm measuring. See, the other nice thing is, like, if you're with pen, I would probably go through and clean it up beforehand, just because it's easy enough to run the pen across. But you can go in and clean up all this stuff, erase it as is necessary. Let's throw. Oops, just ruined my paper. We'll add like 4 feet here. So another thing is, I know you guys are all going to be tempted to use this as your straight edge, but I promise you, if you start doing that, you'll be off, a couple inches on your scale, and it's just going to mess up all of your stuff. So just mark it and run your straight edge down to it. It'll be a lot easier, make your life a lot easier. Throw a door right here, so I'm going to end that wall. Let's do a 2'6" door so I can show you. So on the scale here, hopefully you guys can see this since it's a little zoom in. I'm going to put the 2 on that mark, and because I want a 2'6", on the other side of the 0, I'm going to go halfway, and that's going to be my 2'6". So, yeah, 2, and then these little dashes here are all 1 inch. So if you count out 6, it's right in the middle. So hopefully that's easy enough for you guys to kind of see and tell. If you have any questions, just ask me on Thursday. Okay, so do that. We'll go another 4 feet here. I'm going to make that the inside dimension, even though I marked it there, but get that all lined up. Roll it down to that. This will be the outside wall. Not quite. Probably ran that over. Yeah. Sorry, can erase a little bit there. Do another 1/4 or 1/8 inch right there. Okay, so if you don't have one of these, easiest way to do it next, I guess, would be your compass. So this, you just want to take your width, your door width there, boom, and draw a nice arc. The nice thing about this one is you can kind of create custom ones. So like if I want to show a full swing around, I'm going to draw like that. I'll just take my straight edge there, draw it there. Typically you would only kind of show one half of this, to be honest, so like people either show it that way or that way. I'm just showing you kind of different examples of it. So yeah, same with this one. You can do it that way, give you the nice 90 degree, or you can do it that way, kind of showing out. So this is one of those elements where there's a couple different ways to do it, and it kind of you know, you want to put your own spin on it, if that makes sense. You know, all of you should have very like unique styles, if that makes sense. Like you know, you don't want to copy anything from each other. Like you definitely want to go online, take a look at different options, and get creative with your style. You know, that's hand drawing is supposed to be a little bit about like making it your own. You know, it's kind of the art side of all of this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show a little bit of the wall hatching. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to say that this is a masonry wall, or like a CMU wall. So I'm just going to go through. You definitely want to take your time with some of this, because it does get, if you start going too fast, you know, you get a lot of lines over and it just kind of turns into a mess. So So I'm just going to label that CMU wall. Yeah, so granted this is only 6 inches, you would draw 8, but hatching wise, that's how you draw CMU. I shouldn't say that. There is 6-inch CMU, it's just not typically used as exterior walls. So I guess we could say that that's an interior wall. So let me show you, let me make this one a brick wall, and I'll show you how that's typically hatched. So with brick walls, you typically have the wood construction. So you have your 2x4 wall, and you have a 1-inch air gap, and then you have your brick. So essentially it ends up being 10 inches thick. So we're going to say this is the wood wall behind it, and I'm going to add a wall. So we're going to end up being, where it's 6 inches there, we're going to add a 1-inch air gap and a 4. So basically, 4 inches more. Show it to the end here. So a little bit skinnier than your 6 inches. And to show brick, you basically go in, get your hatching like this. This is just a single angle. And these are all 45 degrees. Hopefully you guys noticed that I was doing 45 with this triangle here. Just move the whole thing. If you really want to get fancy, you can go through and create tick marks so they're all like exactly even. I'm just eyeballing these ones, so they might not be perfect, but they get the point across. Okay, so this is now your kind of your brick, your exterior brick with your interior wood wall. So the next project is your elevations. So some of this will dictate what your elevations look like, and in the future you can change what your stuff is, like what your wall makeup is. So if you're working on your elevation and you're like, oh, I want metal siding here, brick here, CMU here, whatever, your floor plan and your elevation should match, specifically for the final project. Like I said, all these I kind of expect you to do it one more time. So you'll turn this in, have it kind of a finished product or finished presentation, and then you'll go in later and finish cleaning it up. Okay, so that's a good start on walls, which kind of went over a little bit on Thursday. The next portion is doing some of the floor hatching, and it's kind of went over that in some of the examples. Really what you want to do is the corners or the edges of it. You are welcome to go through and do the entire floor. That's totally up to you. I'm just going to show you some different ways to do the floor material, kind of representative of the single room. So carpet, what I like to do is a bunch of dots, heavy in the corner, and then kind of slowly, spread out a little bit, and then eventually it just spreads out into like not very much. So usually do that in at least 2 corners. Yeah, I mean it's very subtle here. With pen, obviously it's going to show up a little darker, but at least it gives you kind of that depth in that room. The other thing that I kind of like to go hand in hand with flooring and furniture. With furniture, honestly, you almost want to lay out the furniture first and then kind of go in and do the floors. I showed you examples of furniture on Thursday. What you want to do is just kind of draw things in. The easiest way to do this is doing multiple layers, just like the site plan. So do a furniture layer, do your walls. You can practice materials on there, and then you go back in, layer them all up, and then it'll turn out a lot nicer if you use multiple layers, multiple sheets. Um, so shadow wise, actually, so with the doors, I should have showed you guys this earlier, but typically you want to draw the door in like that. Draw a chair here real quick. Shadows, like I talked about in class. It's a little too dark, but hopefully you guys can see that kind of pop a lot more than just a little 2D drawing. Let's throw a big wood table in here. It's kind of a plank style. This line outside line's a little messed up. Another style, like let's see, let's throw a little coffee table in here. Something like that, and then on curves like this, you'll want to do the same. So something along those lines there. Let me look at my checklist real quick. So for Thursday, you want to have your rooms at least laid out, so dimensioned here. So let me, right. So for Thursday, properly sized rooms. Walls, door Where's out? Windows. We'll show you guys a window real quick. And then you don't have to have this for Thursday, but you'll want to do your furniture for materials as quickly as you can, for sure by like next Tuesday. Alright, so real quick, we'll get a window in here. So I'm just going to continue this wall down. Oops. Okay, draw, at least measure this out. So we'll do 2 windows here. So 2 feet, we'll do a 3-foot window. Another 2 feet, and another window. Okay, so let me get this. Okay, I'm just going to erase this because I want to change the line weights here. My eraser's not great, unfortunately. Okay. So typically, once you get this roughed in, I'm going to show a little bit of the line weight stuff here. You really want anything that's cut through, you want to have nice and dark. So, a floor plan. Floor plans cut at 4 foot. So if you think about a floor plan and a wall, like, so you have, just draw like a little, house, right? So essentially what you're doing is you're taking a section, looking down, and this is your 4 feet. So if you guys do have stairs, windows, anything like that, think of it as, if your sill is below that 4 feet and your window goes above that 4 feet, you're going to cut right through the window. So, I'm just going to show, I'll show one casement and one storefront. And then I guess if you guys want different windows, ask me. Those are probably going to be the most common ones you guys use. So for both of these, you want to do a light sill line. So these are nice and light. Technically these are going to be darker. You don't have to worry about line weights as much if you fill in your walls. So I kind of talked about it in class a little bit, but like I'll just do this middle one here. So an alternate for your walls, at least interior wood walls, you can kind of fill it in like that. Kind of depends on what your contrast level, what contrast level you want. Okay, so for storefront, you basically draw two little rectangles, and you're going to have a nice, like, two thin lines. That's probably going to be very hard to see at this scale, but hopefully you can kind of pick it up. Okay, so the next one is going to be your casement window. And it's kind of shown similar with a swing. So usually draw a little rectangle, just like the storefront. Do your two lines there. You want to measure out that, and then just kind of draw a curve like that. And this one I usually draw like on the inside a little bit, so kind of a something like that. And that shows that that window opens, swings open. That. Okay, yeah. So what I'd like for you guys to do is for Thursday, if you come in, take another sheet like this. You can throw it over your drawing. This doesn't have to be that. This can be pretty informal. What I'd like you guys to do is just dimension everything out. So go like this, boom, boom. 10 foot, 0. 10 foot, 0. You know, dimension the entire plan just so we can sit down, throw this on, kind of go over all your square footage, make sure that you fit this program. So some of this is, like I said, it's a little bit flexible, but you're going to have to argue why you're changing it, if that makes sense. So if you have like a large lobby, you can be like, well, I really want this grand entry, that has all this cool stuff in it, hanging plants or whatever. There's a reason for it. You can't just be like, oh, I needed another 200 square feet, so I made the storage, 250 square feet instead of 150 square feet. Or my floor plan didn't work very well, like I had a bunch of open space, so I just made it this, or whatever. Same with hallways, don't just fill your space with a bunch of hallways or something because your layout is awkward. I'm gonna sit down with everybody and go over it on Thursday, make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay, I guess that is it for here. I'm going to go over more on-trash stuff on Thursday, plants, things like that. If you guys have specific materials you want me to go over, there's 1,000 different materials. If you have a specific one you want, tell me on Thursday, and I'll show you guys how to do it. I've showed you examples of carpet, wood flooring, tile. Those are kind of the three basics, but there's a lot more. So, okay, I guess I will leave it at that. We'll go from there. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks.